Are you trying to do everything at once? I'm Simon Rafe, and I'm taking the hard line. Welcome back to Hardline, the show that a number of you considered statistically significant by the marketing department enjoy watching. I'm your host, Simon Rafe. Joining me later will be my producer, Joe Enders, who is from Chicago and has style, but is neither a type of pizza nor a citation format. And joining me after that will be Jules Gomesh, our Rome correspondent, for a gentleman's chat. But for now, are you trying to do everything at once? I don't mean are you trying to do too much, although you probably are and we all do it. I suppose that could be a hard line in and of itself. We all try to do too much. We try to do everything we can. We try to do it all on our own. We work very hard. We work too hard. We rush from one thing to another and we never make time for leisure, and we despise those who do. We do all this and we even consider it a moral failing in us or others. We consider it a moral failing to not work too hard. All of that is very true. We all do it. We shouldn't. We should make time for leisure. We should understand there is a cycle of work and play. We should balance our lives and respect the weakness of the human creature, especially we should respect the weakness of the human creature, especially ourselves. That is a very legitimate topic. It's not what I'm talking about today. What am I talking about today? Vitamins. What? I hear you cry? Ah, yes, I respond, thinking it is my accent and pronunciation. Vitamins, I correct myself. What? You ask, as blankly as before? Ignoring your consternation, I plow on uncaring and dispassionate. Many of the young men in the office here are much concerned with their health and fitness. One of the main focuses is diet and nutrition, and these putative Heracles, these healthy fellows break down into basically two groups. Those who eat nothing but steak and raw eggs, and those who subsist entirely on a diet of space food. The latter is the sort of thing consumed by Anne Francis and Walter Pidgeon while wearing silver spandex in a 1956 sci-fi classic. Powders and pills and so forth made in a lab by high forehead types who have never picked up a dumbbell in their lives, but which are nevertheless touted as containing not only all the nutrition a person might need, but also without all that pesky requirement to, eat food such as normal men eat. I make no judgments about which group, the rocket ship pilots or the wannabe Rocky Balboas. I make no judgments about which group is getting healthier, enjoying themselves more, or does more damage to the kitchen appliances. But I notice that each of them also takes daily supplements of vitamins, minerals, and so forth. I'm sure you do too. I do so myself. A little handful of pills each morning containing zinc and vitamin C and D, because apparently our modern diet doesn't contain enough citrus fruit, sunlight, or galvanized ironmongery. I take each of these each day. What I do not do is make a pile of them, akin to a pyramid of skulls offered to an Aztec deity on Monday morning, and cram them down my gullet by the fistful and be done for the rest of the week. That would, and I hasten to point out that I am not a doctor and this is not medical advice, but that would be a bad idea. Equally, the fellows eating steak for all 5 meals a day and then washing them down with a glass of raw albumin do not gorge themselves on half a cow on Monday morning, then starve themselves for the rest of the week. The space powder crowd does not hoover up a 50-gallon drum of dust on Monday morning and consider themselves ready for the conquest of Jupiter. Why is this? If we as human beings need around 2,000 calories today, why can we not eat 14,000 in one sitting, whether in the form of dead animal or desiccated space food? Why can we not eat 14,000 calories in one sitting and be done for the rest of the week? Why can't we chug 56 glasses of water? That's 8 per day for 7 days. Why can't we chug 56 glasses of water in one go and then hike across the Sahara with impunity? Why do the vitamin scientists not make a pill the size of a Werther's Original, which contains all the vitamins from A to zinc one might need for a week, and then market it? Surely this would be simpler. Surely this would be a no-brainer. Surely someone should book me on Shark Tank, and I will walk out with more venture capital than Congress gives to Ukraine. Of course not. Again, I'm not a doctor, and this is not medical advice, but this is a dumb idea. We need to eat food each day. We need to drink water each day. We need to take vitamins and minerals each day. For those of you not fully on board with my mind-boggling biological assertions, try inhaling a hot air balloon's worth of oxygen all at once and then holding your breath for the rest of the show. It's not going to work. The things we need to survive, we need to take in gradually, as we need them, as we use them. Our bodies cannot store sufficient reserves to last all that long. We cannot process massive amounts all at once. We are limited, finite creatures, and alas, the sci-fi vision of the single space food pill the size of a fingernail, which contains all the nutrition the brave cosmic explorer might need for a week or a month, is just that, a sci-fi vision and fantasy. So, why are we acting like this isn't the case for prayer? Did we think the line in the Lord's Prayer, "Give us this day our daily bread," was merely speaking literally to the facts I have laid out over the past couple of minutes via the medium of pop culture mockery? Did we think, "Give us this day our daily bread," was referring merely to actual, real, physical bread? Did we perhaps think, "Give us this day our daily bread," was merely referring to the Eucharist, and that we were asking God to be able to receive his body and blood under the appearance of bread and wine? It does, of course, mean those things, but it can also point to so much more. Are we guilty of reducing our religious observances to a single hour or so of worship on Sundays and holy days of obligation? Are we just going to Mass once a week and whenever we are required to, but not giving any thought to God or worship him or prayer in the rest of the week? I would hope not. In all honesty, I would really suspect not. Not for this show's audience, which is, as I've said before, which is made up of good, faithful Catholics who are trying their best to live a good, holy life oriented towards Jesus Christ and his church. I don't think we're doing that, are we? We certainly aren't just going to Mass at Christmas and Easter or when someone dies or our grandparents come in from out of state and we feel guilty. That isn't us. And it's probably not the case. The only time we are doing religion is on Sunday morning and hoping that will cover us for the week. But there might be weeks when that is the case. There might be weeks when all we are doing that week is Sunday Mass, and we're hoping that will be enough. It really won't. That's the equivalent of skipping your medication. It's good you took it once, but you're supposed to do it every day. We are finite creatures. We don't have the capacity to take in a huge mass of grace all at once and live off it for a week or a month like a camel with water in its hump. That's a Protestant line of thinking, the idea that one altar call, that one commitment to Christ, that once saved, always saved, will be enough not just for a week or a month, but your whole life. We're constantly under attack by Satan, constantly tempted to sin, constantly sinning. We need not a store of grace to fight it, but a constant stream of the stuff, because we're not just big enough to hold everything we need. We're contingent beings. God designed us that way. We are contingent on God, and we constantly need his help and support, giving us each day our daily bread. We should be praying each day. You have the opportunity to do that with us here on churchmilton.com. Every day, morning and evening, we have live stream prayers you can join in with. The Liturgy of the Hours and the Rosary. You can buy the book, you need to join in with the prayers from our store. Give us each day our daily bread. And honestly, not even just our daily bread. It's not enough to wake up in the morning and pray your rosary and make a morning offering or whatever, and then get up, shower, shave, grab your coffee, and go, and give no more thought to prayer and God and religion for the rest of the day. Give us each day our daily bread? How about give us each hour our hourly bread? Give us constantly a constant bread. We should be praying without ceasing. We should be filling our days with as structured prayers like the Liturgy of the Hours, the Rosary, the Angelus, but we should also be peppering them with little tiny prayers, the sign of the cross, telling Jesus we love him, asking saints to pray for us, giving thanks to God for the good and the bad in our lives. Because if we don't, we are trying to do everything at once. We're trying to cram all of our religious devotion, our entire relationship with Christ into a couple of masses a year, or more likely, one mass a week. We start our day with a glut of prayers akin to cramming down all the food for the day at breakfast time. We start our day with prayers, but then do nothing for the rest of the day, and we hope we've got enough in the tank to take us through. We hope we can, like a camel, make it across the desert of temptation with what we've got in our humps. It's not going to work. You'll be hungry, you'll be starving, you'll be greedy to eat things you shouldn't. You'll fill up on the sweets of temptation because that's all there will be out there. I know why we do it. We can carve out time in the year, in the week, in the day to set aside for prayer, and so we do. We can do this, and so we do, but it's hard to find more time to spread it out, to make our entire lives about prayer. Easier to define a time for it and fence it off and say, I've given to God what I need to give, He'll be happy. He will be happy. Living in heaven does that to you. God is always happy, but never satisfied. And we should not be satisfied with trying to do everything at once. It won't work, and it isn't healthy for us. Give us this hour, our hourly bread. Pray without ceasing, and don't try to do everything at once. Thank you for watching Hardline. If you're enjoying the show, please go to churchmilitant.com for the whole episode. You must be a premium member. So to sign up, go to churchmilitant.com/go premium.